Wrestling fans, we're here at the Warrior One Wrestling Show. What an extravaganza. I'm here with the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. He'll be competing in a three-way match with Adrian Extremo and Kid Cash. Thank you for joining us, Bryan.
Oh, no problem.
You've had quite a list of impressive trainers throughout your years. Talk a little bit about being trained by some of the greats.
Well, you're really quite lucky when you get to be trained by guys like Shawn Michaels and William Regal and Rudy Boy Gonzalez. I mean, the list goes on of guys that I've been able to train with. And the difference is like a guy like Loki, somebody like that, he's wrestled all over, and he's had to learn how to do things the right way, the hard way, by just learning through experience. I was taught the right way from the beginning, and like a lot of those guys, they have to travel around and be taught that sort of thing, where I was taught straight from the beginning, which just helps, so. You're
known for quite extensive travel. You've worked a variety of promotions. Any hot spots that you enjoy going to? Any certain promotions that come to mind that when you're booked, you enjoy going there?
My favorite places to wrestle are in Europe and Japan. They're just, I think the quality of wrestlers over there is a different kind of wrestler than there is in the United States, and they're more athletes, whereas most of the guys in the United States are more fans who became wrestlers, and I like that aspect of it a lot.
Speaking of Japan, how would you compare the fans in Japan to the fans here in the States?
They're actually, everybody says they're different, but they're actually quite similar, I think. Just the difference being say they're different from Ring of Honor fans, but the Japanese fans respect wrestling, and they know all sorts of different martial arts, so they understand things better. Like, they know what's going on, and, they cheer for things that are just different, just for effort. They appreciate effort, which a lot of American fans don't, so.
Who's been one of your more favorite wrestlers to work with in the ring?
My favorite person to wrestle is Robbie Brookside, and it's because he fights you, and he makes you fight him back, and that's what I like about wrestling.
I got to ask you about the cat mutilation. That's honestly one of my favorite terms for a submission hold. How did that name come to fruition?
It actually, I didn't know anything about it. I just called it a double arm submission. I was like, and then I had wrestled the match, and then after the match, Low Key came up to me and said, good to see you beat somebody with the cattle mutilation. I was like, what are you talking about? He said, that's the name of your move, the cattle mutilation. No, it's not. Yes, it is. I was like, okay, and I completely forgot about it. Then I saw Christopher Daniels a couple months later, and he goes, yeah, I saw you beat somebody with the cattle mutilation again. What the hell? That's the name of the move. And so it just kind of stuck from there. Like I never wanted to call it that, so now I'm calling it Arms Across America, just because it's cheesy.
I love the cattle mutilation. That is great, though, and it's a very effective move. What can you give our fans out there? A lot of wrestlers watch our show, fans who are trying to become wrestlers who are trying to make it up. Is there any advice you can give to them? Like earlier on, you stated you learned the right way. Is there anything that you could talk to them as far as their training and how to make it in this business?
A lot of guys think they can make it in wrestling and be lazy. I think one of the biggest problems in the United States and even in Europe and everything is that the wrestlers themselves don't treat wrestling seriously. They don't treat themselves as athletes. They don't train like athletes. They don't eat like athletes. And because of that, it's almost embarrassing sometimes, some of the shows that you're on. Like, you're with guys who, they have no business wrestling, and, they certainly shouldn't be wrestling somebody like me or Kid Cash or any of those guys, And so the thing is that if you want to be a professional wrestler, you've got to train like a professional athlete. And if you don't, and if you're making excuses, then that's just what they are. They're just excuses.
American Dragon, thank you, Bryan Danielson, for joining us. Good luck in your career. And again, thank you for talking to us, and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.